several of you out there, but for those of you that don't know me, I'm not Jake Ellzey. I'm Scott Gilfillan. I have the privilege of serving as Congressman Ellzey's Communications Director, both on the federal side of the government and on the campaign. So I was born and raised in Corsicana, Texas. I met Jake when he was a member of the Texas legislature. I was serving as Cody Harris's legislative director at the time. He and I, over the course of the 87th session, got to know each other extremely well. He was the first member, other than Cody, to give me his personal cell phone number. I saw him in the hallway. He knew who I was, and he said, "Hey, I'm new here. If there's anything that I need to know, would you please tell me?" And he had me pull out my phone, and he put his phone number in. And that was the moment that I knew that he was different. Most reps, when you get down to Austin, a lot of them, they get a little bit of an ego, and Jake did not.
This will be a 2-minute response. So our first question is regarding keeping a majority. You are speaking to a room full of conservatives who are all unhappy with what is going on in Washington, D.C., especially as it concerns the executive branch. We also know that conservative laws and budgets cannot be passed without a majority in the House. If elected, what plans, efforts, or ideas would you have to ensure a Republican majority in the House?
Sure. So I think the number one job of the Speaker of the House is to keep and expand your majority. That's job number one. We have now the most conservative speaker in United States history. Speaker Johnson has taken over, and he's done an absolutely remarkable job so far. Over the next several months, you're going to see 12 House appropriations bills go through the Rules Committee and then onto the House floor. It's going to reduce our deficit, and we're going to start showing some serious Republican victories and some real impacts on the United States. Something to keep in mind is right now, as Republicans, we control 1/2 of 1/3 of the federal government. We have an administration who is not doing their job. We have a Senate that is extremely uncooperative. So the number one thing that Jake is doing right now is finding the victories that he can do as a single member of Congress in a majority where the rest of our government is divided.
Our next question is regarding the national debt. We can no longer even imagine the number that is the U.S. debt. I believe the number is $17.2 trillion. If elected, what would your plans be for addressing the U.S. deficit? 2 minutes.
Sure. I'll go back to our current. So right now, since the Bush administration, we've been operating on stock fabulous CRs. It is the job of Congress to pass a budget. Right now, since September, the House Appropriations Committee, where all of the government funding is allocated, has passed all 12 spending bills. They reduced the deficit back to 2022 levels and then cut an additional $1.7 trillion on our debt. That is what Congressman Ellzey has done so far. We need to get those bills through the House and over to the Senate. While we may not get every single cut that we want, we have to make meaningful strides